Hi everybody, this is Sheila Aliens. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're all doing good today. So some of you might have seen the last video I posted about the World Economic Forum, and they're just creepy. They're up to something. They're the New World Order. And I had not taken a look at their YouTube channel, and it's a funny place to be because all of their videos get brutally ratioed with the likes to dislikes, and they leave the comments on, which is just beautiful. So I didn't notice this, but they uploaded 6 days ago a video called What is the Great Reset? Davos Agenda 2021. Now, in this video, they admit that the Great Reset sounds creepy and New World Ordery, like it sets off alarms to call something the Great Reset. It sounds like you're trying to take over the world. They admit that in the video, yet they call the whole thing that they went to this year the Davos Agenda 2021. Don't call anything an agenda. That's creepy. Davos, by the way, is the name of the town in the Swiss Alps where they go for their meeting every year. And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and play this video. And it is fair use, so they better not try to strike me.
We can act rapidly and restructure our lives.
The recovery from the pandemic is an opportunity. We can see rays of hope in the form of a vaccine, but there is no vaccine for the planet. Nature needs a bailout.
You don't want to go back to the status quo that you had before simply because it was the status quo that got us here.
With everything falling apart, we can reshape the world in ways we couldn't before. Ways that better address so many of the challenges we face. And that's why so many are calling for a great reset.
Are they though? Or is that just another one of your shitty elite agendas that you want to inflict upon us peasants of the world?
A great reset? That sounds more like buzzword bingo masking some nefarious plan for world domination. Hands up, this kind of slogan hasn't gone down well.
Oh, does it then? I thought everybody was calling for it. Make up your mind. It hasn't gone down well, then nobody's asking for it.
But all we really want to say is that we all have an opportunity to build a better world. And it's not surprising that people who've been disenfranchised by a broken system and pushed even further by the pandemic will suspect global leaders of conspiracy. But the world's not that simple. Every one of us has differing priorities, values, and ideas. That's part of why solutions are so hard to come by, and why we all need to be involved in the decision-making. Because whether it's politicians, CEOs, academics, activists, or you, we're all about getting people together, even those you may not like, to sit down at the table and develop solutions that work for all of us.
This woman's voice, this girl's voice, you know she is filthy rich. You can tell from her voice. Raised in the Swiss Alps or something. Completely, these people are so out of touch with us, yet they want to control every aspect of our lives. She's rich. You can tell from her voice. She's extra rich. And she's probably the daughter or granddaughter of one of these people. Obviously.
All of us. But
we need enormous trust between the private sector and the public sector for this to actually work. That trust is hard to come by.
What's happening right now between the private sector and the public sector? With the Reddit and Robinhood and GameStop and all that shit. There's no trust there. We don't want it anyway. You guys could never earn our trust. That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping all those Reddit guys who are doing all the stock market manipulation right now, which is very cool, keep doing it, but don't fall for this shit. They're going to guilt trip you into putting your investments into this type of shit.
it's time for people to work together, listen to each other, and build this trust so we can move towards a better world. And we really need one. Because while the pandemic affects us all, it's clear it affects some more than others.
The first people who are hit are the people at the front, those who are vulnerable. It is those on the front line who take it first, and that is simply unacceptable.
See, at the start of 2020, 1% of the world's population owned 44% of the wealth. And since the start of the pandemic, billionaires have increased theirs.
Billionaires have increased theirs. That is the accent of a billionaire. I'm sorry. You are definitely got money in the bank, you and your parents.
By more than 25%, whilst 150 million people fell back into extreme poverty. And With climate change set to dwarf the damage caused by the pandemic, the message from 2020 should be abundantly clear.
Capitalism, as we know it, is dead. This obsession that we have had with maximizing profits for shareholders alone has led to incredible inequality and a planetary emergency.
But no one can do this alone, and top-down approaches won't get us anywhere, because everything we've learned in our work has shown us that diverse voices lead to better results. And it's for these reasons that the forum talks about something called stakeholder capitalism, which would shift businesses away from just profit. Because
if we want to change where the focus of our recovery will go, then we need a new dashboard for the new economy. And that needs to encompass people, planet, prosperity, and institutions.
Giving people a real stake in the economy and putting well-being before growth. And that's all about getting the right people in the right place at the right time.
We must rebuild our relationship with nature for the survival of the peoples and our planet.
All right, calm down.
It's the people who have great ideas and who share them with others. They're the ones who are shaping the future. So if you want to be a part of the change, then tune in, turn on, and get involved. Follow the Davos agenda, right here, online, on YouTube.
Follow the Davos agenda. We have an agenda in the Swiss Alps for you guys. We've never been to your disgusting country and we don't want to. But we're going to tell you how to live your life. Yeah, so that video was a bit much. The editing was a bit much. They need to calm down with the editing. Not to mention you didn't even say really what the Great Reset means. And they're going to try to make a one world government. So I thought maybe we should take a look at some of the comments and stuff. But first, real quick, just as far as what the Great Reset actually is, there will be a couple of links in the description to some articles that explain it pretty well, I think. So my impression of what the Great Reset means is a total and complete collapse of economy and government for all of the countries, not unlike what COVID has done. And then a sort of forgiveness of any debt and things like that as they rebuild everything from the bottom up as the new world order, one world government type of thing. And I got a little worried a couple weeks ago when I was looking at the news and I searched for government collapse. And Italy's government had just collapsed, Estonia's, the Dutch government, and Jerusalem or Lebanon's government had all just collapsed. They are leaderless, without lead right now. And some other countries as well. Because within 2 days, 3 different countries' governments collapsed, all for different reasons. Estonian government collapsed over corruption investigation, and then the Dutch government collapsed like half a day after that over a benefit scandal. Something about paying social workers or something stupid like that. Something that wouldn't normally collapse a government, but did collapse the Dutch government. And that just seems like a pretty blank slate to sign everybody up for the one world government. And that's my understanding of what the Great Reset is meant to be and meant to do. Look, you got 19,000 downvotes to 1.5 thousand upvotes, okay, on a video with 211,000 views. That's abysmal, and I just love that you leave the comments on. Let's see why people gave this 19,000 downvotes and what they have to say. No, 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 we don't want this. No one voted for this. The voting ratio on this video proves the point. It's a fair point by Guy Fawkes. Can someone clearly and peacefully tell me what's the big deal? This other person says, oh wait, they found thousands of mail-in likes. And this person answers to that person who asked for a explanation of what the big deal is. This person responded, total and final control of everyone's life. Talmudic Zio-fascism. Okay. It's fancy sounding. Another person says, they left the comments on because they clearly don't care anymore and think victory is secured. They will achieve these goals if we don't stop them. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to stop them, honestly. They're going, what can you do, you know? We can't do anything about it other than revolt. Protecting My Rights says, nobody voted for this, but everybody is paying for it through the things they choose to buy, such as Amazon, Walmart, etc. And in turn, they are buying into their own enslavement. Capitalism has reached its end, and soon the world's fiat will become digital currency, And at that point, we will be paid by the company and be forced to buy from their company store, making us slaves to the world's largest open-air prison run by these globalists. One solution is to buy silver and gold coins now and create local community-based trade on that currency to bypass their tyrannical digital system, says this person called Protecting My Rights. Mr. Firehouse says you will have no say in their society at all. They will own everything and you will own nothing, not even yourself. Doesn't matter what political side you are on, say anything against them and they will make you a non-person, unhireable, unable to buy or sell, unable to travel, etc. until you come around to their way of thinking, which will change like the wind to fit the elite's latest wants and needs, or be re-educated in camps until you do. Not a joke. We are now there. Wow. Kitty Mom says, you have no idea what fascism really represents. What they're pushing is modern global communism. Fascism is really about improving society, not leeching off of it and keeping everybody poverty slaves. Real fascism to these elites is like holy water to a vampire. Interesting. I never studied politics, but that totally sounds like something that would happen. Like, fascism sounds horrible nowadays. I don't know if it ever sounded good, but if that was their initial intentions that this person said, then they don't sound that bad. But fascism as we know it today is a bad no-no. SP says, but Trader Joe cheated fair and square. Eat your peas, pleb. Day H says, exactly, thank you. Spread the word to whoever needs it, everyone. We need to become aware. Only then can we collectively do something about this huge problem we're facing. Yeah, the World Economic Forum is the problem. Hippie Chick says, it's not the Jews. The Bushes, Obamas, Clintons, Bribhams, Gores, and more are not Jews. But I don't like to blame the Jews. That's just stupid. Not about that at all. That's just something they want you to talk shit about. So then they can call you a Nazi when they need to. That's my opinion. Hippie Chick goes on to say in another comment, you will worship who they tell you to worship. There will be no borders. So all the third world countries will become one with the first world countries. You will be given a job and you will work there doing what they tell you to do until they need you to do something else. There will be curfews and you will not disobey or there will be hell to pay. You will live where they tell you to live with as many and who they tell you to live with. Your food will be supplied to you, which means you will basically eat what they want you to eat. One world order, religion, and government. Hippie Chick comes back at Kitty Mom and says, go talk about what fascism really is to a Holocaust survivor. Okay. Meow. Array says to Hippie Chick, talk to a Holodomor survivor about communism. Oh, you can't. There are no survivors. Communists killed 100 times more. What's Holodomor? I guess we'll have to find out. Am I pronouncing this right? I don't know. Holodomor? Holodomor? The Holodomor, to kill by starvation, also known as the Terror Famine, sometimes referred to as the Great Famine, was a famine in Soviet Ukraine from 1932 to 33 that killed millions of Ukrainians. Oh my God. 3 to 12 million. Jesus Christ. Oh, in 1 year? Whoa. Whoa, that's way worse than Hitler. How'd that happen? That's so sad. What a piece of shit is Joseph Stalin, really? As you can see, I'm not very learned on history, but that is very interesting and sad. Horrible. This person says they're going to fix the ratio of the likes to dislikes, but it didn't look like they were able to do that. They don't care. They don't need to bother. They're still just going to do what they're going to do. Hey, does anyone have an article that can explain this to me? I just learned about it and I would like to figure out more details. Yeah, I actually have a link for them. Let me dig it up. Okay, so I sent that link to that person. I think it was actually a woman, Jade. This person says, if there were no survivors of the Holodomor, then how do you know about it? Well, you can't say there were no survivors, just so many people died. Ray says, I heard about the Holodomor from the history books and the newspaper articles from the period. Have you seen a Holodomor memorial museum or a Holodomor victims fund? Have you ever seen a Holodomor survivor on Oprah, Dr. Phil, or Donahue, or The View, or 60 Minutes? Seems like you are the one who has trouble with logic. Ooh, that's crazy. Where are the survivors? Why does that get brushed under the rug? I don't get it. Ooh, 1 minute ago, Heather Ross says communication on steroids, and in order to get there, collapse of contrary economic strong countries. Millions dead of starvation and force. You will own nothing and be happy is their slogan. No freedoms or rights, no home you live in now. They are planning to relocate people, depopulation for sustainability. I guess they might already be doing that with COVID, huh? They decide how much you eat. So is everybody going to lose weight? Because that would be kind of good. I'm just kidding. But we are an obese country in the United States here. And that's an interesting comment thread. That's just the comments that are responding to the top comment. Some of those comments got pretty dark and bleak. I'm not necessarily co-signing them either. I hope it doesn't go down that road. Let's just hope that doesn't happen. I think they were being a little melodramatic, but I don't know. That was an interesting little dive, and I learned something today. That word that I am definitely pronouncing incorrect, Holodomor. I never heard about that. I didn't have a good school system. I went to school in Arizona by the border, southeastern Arizona, and it was shit, honestly. They didn't teach us anything. So that's the first I'm hearing about the Holodomor, mass starvation that only took 1 year to kill millions of people. That's crazy. Now I have to go watch documentaries if there's any out there. And why does that not get mentioned like the Jews from the Holocaust? Why? I just don't get it. When one had more people die and quicker. Quite strange. You think we would all want to avoid that situation happening again? Somebody comes into the office of the president and then decides you're going to starve? I don't even know if that's exactly what happened. I haven't fully looked into it yet. So yeah, I learned something today. And the World Economic Forum, this channel, they're clowns. They are clowns. They're out here acting like clowns. Everybody's joking on them and thumbing their videos down. You guys are ridiculous. And I hope they don't succeed in anything that they're trying to do. But they have all the power in the world. They're rich. They hang out in the Swiss Alps thinking they know what's best for us. It's absurd. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and you have a great day.
That's challenges we face. Challenges we hasn't. Challenges we faced. And hasn't. That sounds more like us. That's all we must do. That's all we really want to say it. That's all we really want to say it. Cooling. And hasn't gone down. Challenges we faced. Challenges we hasn't gone down. Masking is none of the all we really want to say. That's all we masking is none of the challenges we faced. Cooling for a great reason. Challenges we. That sounds more. Cooling for a great reason. That's cooling for a great. Challenges we. World domination. Challenges we hasn't gone down. Well. Challenges masking. World domination. That's all we really want to say it. Masking hasn't got world domination. It hasn't got challenges with world domination. Challenges we hasn't gone down. Well. Challenges masking. World domination. That's all we really want to say it. Masking hasn't got world domination. It hasn't got that's challenges we face. Challenges we faced. It hasn't that sounds more like us. That's all we masking. That's all we really want to say it. That's all we really want to say it. Cooling. It hasn't gone down. Challenges we faced. Challenges we hasn't gone down. Masking is some of the all we really want to. The all we masking is some of the challenges we faced. Cooling for a great reason. Challenges we that sounds more. Cooling for a great reason. That's cooling for a great. Challenges we world domination. Challenges we hasn't gone down. Well. Challenges masking. World domination. That's all we really want to say it. Masking hasn't got world domination. It hasn't got challenges with world domination. Challenges we hasn't gone down. Well. Challenges masking. World domination. That's all we really want to say it. Masking hasn't got world domination.